Hi, I'm Tricia Pine at rejoiceinyourvoice.com, home of the complete vocal system. I help professional men and women whose voice is their livelihood. From singing to public speaking to being the face of your business, if you rely and depend on your voice every day, but are not getting the impactful results that you want, I'm here to help. Over the last few weeks, I've been sharing some techniques of how we can integrate Geoff Colvin's principles of deliberate practice into our own work. They come from his best-selling book, Talent is Overrated. The goal is to take you from being the average performer to being the excellent performer. And this week's principle is, it's highly demanding mentally. It's highly demanding mentally. Now, like all of Geoff's principles that he's sharing, they're very simple, but think about the opposite. What if some of our beliefs are, it's supposed to be easy? It's always supposed to be fun. If it's not easy, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe it'll never work for me. If those beliefs are creeping in and now you're giving this little nugget that says it's highly demanding mentally, you know that when you go into the practice room, you go into the studio, you're working on your pitches, you know that it's going to be highly demanding mentally, so you're ready. Game on, right? Okay, good. So Colvin says that deliberate practice is above all an effort of focus and concentration. So to take our art, our message, our vision to the next level, we have to investigate, find, and make those elements that are not quite meeting our expectations, we have to make them better. Now, this type of improvement is going to stretch our mental capabilities and it's gonna feel demanding. So our practice time is more than just showing up. And I know some days it's all we can do to just show up, vocalize, and get out the door. But if we want to up-level what we're doing, we want to go from average to excellent, we must show up in our work, and we must do the slow work, the feeling work. We must be present every moment while we're working. That's that mental focus and concentration. Here's a question for you. During your practice time, how long are you able to hold the focus, the concentration? I don't know about you, but for me, I have to work in short increments because I get distracted very easily. So I know that about myself and I schedule it accordingly. But what about you? Well, here's what Geoff says about some of the studies regarding how we plan our practice time. Studies on ideal practice time for professional instrumentalists and peak athletes say it's best to work 5 hours a day in 1 hour to 90-minute increments. This is the maximum amount of time that the brain can hold this type of intense focus. That's for instrumentalists and peak athletes. Now, for speakers and singers, we are not going to work vocally for 5 hours a day. All the more reason that we are very strategic about the time that we have. So, I want us to then have our non-vocal time support our excellent performer goal as well. That means working on your memorization, working on your piano work, working on best practices, reading, doing research, really looking at the score, working on your blocking. There's a slew of things that you can do that are non-vocal that you can still up-level your game. Okay? And I know we are all quick to go to that end result, that performance or that presentation. There is nothing like giving to the audience and receiving back from the audience, and then the audience giving to us and us then receiving. It's incredible. But we must stop and do the slow work. Honor the music. Honor the presentation. Honor the vision by doing the slow, strategic work so that you can better serve your audience and make the impact that your vision and your message deserves. Okay, so here's your homework this week, and I'm going to do it right along with you. I want you to schedule your practice time during your peak focus times. This may take some maneuvering in your day, but you know when you're able to be most focused, okay? Work in 30 to 45 minutes during that time of day. Now, I suggest too that you come back in the latter part of the day and schedule another session, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. I encourage you to work during peak focus times, but also in the time of day when you may feel a little bit tired. Because often this is when we have to present or perform. In the evening, in the afternoon, late at night, when we've got a lot going on. So we have to teach ourselves, that's part of the work, part of the strategy, teach our body how to still do the feeling present work. Even when we may be a little bit mentally tired, we still have to be there for ourselves. Then I want you to chart your progress. And I want you to also schedule in some of the gaps in your day, about 3 hours, and I know that's a lot, but 3 hours to do some of the other work as well. Remember, we're looking for the goal of being an excellent performer and an excellent presenter. So do the reading work, the mental work, the mindset work, the personal development work to support that vision, okay? So I want to give you a suggestion for when it really does get intense and hard and you just want to give up, okay? So you're working and you're just going, oh my gosh, Tricia, this is hard for me. I want you to treat this type of mental focus, this mental concentration, kind of how you would when you're meditating. So when I'm meditating and a thought comes in that's distracting or pulls me off focus, I gently let it go and I come back on task. Come back to the breath, come back to whatever it is that I'm meditating on that day. You can do the same with this work. Don't beat yourself up if you meet the resistance. It's going to happen. But I believe that as we flex this focus muscle, it will become easier and easier and easier for us. Okay, that's what I want you to do. So show up, work in 15, 30, 45-minute increments, take a break, do your other work, and then come back. I want you to know that you are worth this time of an investment, this investment of focus and concentration. You are totally worth it. Not everyone is called to serve in this way, to take their vision, to take their art, to take their craft and make a greater impact. You're having that calling for a reason. And I want you to know that you are serving a greater purpose when you choose the path of an excellent performer. Okay? I'm Tricia Pine at rejoiceinyourvoice.com, and until next week, always rejoice in your voice. Bye-bye.